Australia's QSR sector is bracing for another energy price hike up to 5% this July. With power bills already doubling for some, staying profitable is getting tougher. Joining us to talk about this is Austin Hunsdale from Zembl. So, Austin, how are rising energy costs affecting the revenue and profitability of QSRs in Australia?
Oh, it's having a big impact. It's putting a lot of downward pressure on profitability. And that's even if the revenue of the business is growing. This sector, it relies really heavily on volume and operating efficiency for profit. The businesses are typically run on thin margins and sort of fast cash conversion cycles. So energy bills increasing, cash flow becomes tighter. Even small increases in cost can really affect the bottom line. As you know, QSRs, they're notorious for high energy consumption. You've got intensive cooking, refrigeration, lighting, often in use at full capacity for long periods of time. A QSR can use up to 10 times as much energy as a standard commercial office building. So energy bills, they're always going to be a big contributor to a QSR's overall operating expenses. And, any increase in these costs is going to compress profit margins. That's why it's really important for QSRs to be proactive with energy management and not just accept it as a fixed cost.
To better address this, can you identify some common blind spots in energy management within the QSR industry?
Yeah, I think the challenge for QSRs is that energy management, it often takes a back seat to more immediate operational concerns. So a big blind spot is not really taking the time to understand, what's actually driving the energy bills, taking the time to understand where the greatest energy efficiency savings are. Things like an energy audit can help there. Energy audits can identify inefficient equipment, inefficient processes, and they can actually generate reports and insights, make specific recommendations that are going to help a business to reduce energy costs. Businesses, they've got to continually monitor and maintain equipment. If there are problems with equipment and you let that go, they'll not only end up consuming more power, but that can sort of escalate to bigger breakdowns, unexpected downtime, higher repair costs further down the track. And staff, I think, play a big part here too. So it's really important that staff are trained on the importance of energy management. Even little changes, switching off lights, powering down equipment that isn't in use, being mindful of energy usage during peak times. They're small changes, but that can really add up over the course of a year. And lastly, and this probably can have the biggest impact, is making sure that you're on the best energy deal. So at Zembl, we offer a free comparison and switching service. We save QSRs thousands every year just by switching to a better plan or a different energy retailer. For QSRs that are on commercial energy contracts, making sure you know your contract renewal date, making sure you don't wait until the last minute. So thinking about your energy contract in advance and leveraging an energy expert like Zembl and take advantage of our experience to get you the best deal.
And what strategies have successful QSR brands used to manage such energy costs?
So I guess once you know you're getting the best deal on your energy, the next step would be to look at energy efficiency. So upgrading your appliances, so especially things like refrigeration and cooking. These can account for up to half the energy use in a QSR. More modern appliances, high Energy Star ratings, new innovations. They're not only using less energy, but they can also actually take up less space. McDonald's is a good example here. So they upgraded all of their grills. This not only reduced the cooking platform size compared to the previous model, it reduced the amount of energy required by 25%. So they've significantly reduced power draw, no compromise to speed or service. And I know it can be costly upgrading appliances, but there's financing options available. I think in the long term, the investment pays off through lower bills, less maintenance, lower replacement costs. Lighting, probably another big one. So you've got some QSRs operating 24 hours a day. So lighting's always going to be another big opportunity for energy savings. Switching to LED, it's one of the easiest and most cost-effective actions that a QSR can do. LEDs, they consume less energy. They've got a longer lifespan. They generate less heat, so that can reduce the pressure on air conditioning systems. KFC's done a national rollout of LED, and this has led to, I think it was a 70% reduction in energy use per site, and savings of around $5,000 per site per annum. So it's a material benefit. And the other thing with LED, there's a lot of government subsidies available as well, and that can really help with the cost. Lastly, if you've got the roof space, nothing better than generating your own energy. So if you can put solar panels on the roof, we've seen Zembl do this, and in the sites where they had solar, were able to reduce their energy bills by 40%.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Austin.
No problem. Thanks very much for having me.
Once again, that was Austin Hunsdale, Chief Product Officer at Zembl. For more news, visit qsrmedia.com.au.